Yeah, it's funny. Literally, just as we were starting there, I thought, well, this is my birthday episode, Hannah.
Oh yeah, so post birthday.
Yeah, because I was on the 5th of February. I was 55.
Yeah, you were 55.
Was I?
I thought you were 50. You know, when you want to go back, don't just go back 3 years. Just go 8. You know, you just. 50.
I didn't go back 3 years. What are you talking about? I'm 55.
No, you're 50. I thought you were 50.
But that would be 5 years going back. 3 years going back would be 52.
Okay. Well, you know, like I'm telling you, because I've been doing it for a very long time.
How old are you? How old are you? Because we were born on the same year.
I'm 47. I'm
okay.
47. So
right, so I'm 55. So I know that sounds a crazy question, but if we were born in the same year, and I'm 55.
We just have to take the different perspective.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I know what you mean. Sometimes you get born and then you're not really born until 8 years later.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, okay.
So, but you have to. It's
Hannah,
quite difficult because they ask you, when did you finish school? What have you been doing? So you have to recalculate.
So yeah, Hannah was born, but then was in an incubator for 8 years, and so actually she was just put on hold. But look at this. I have my personal trainer, Danny. She brought me a lovely cake. But look at this. What is it? Isn't that the saddest little sound you've ever heard in your life, Daniel? Listen.
Yeah.
Look, just sitting at home, no friends, all alone, and it's your fucking birthday. That sounds happier than this. Look. This is like another year further away from being attractive to the kind of women you want to. Right. Yeah, anyway.
Very soon you might not be able to ride anyone.
And also my teeth are fucked, you know. I do these auditions.
Do you really want to talk about those?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I want to talk about that?
I don't know.
About my teeth?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It's such a personal thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, my teeth are. Yeah, I've got fucking big gaps in my fucking teeth.
And they're a bit discolored as well.
Yeah, because I fucking smoke, Hannah.
Okay.
Yeah. I could pull my willy out on the table if you'd like. Would that be personal enough? Okay, anyway, look, the point is, I've got a...
Why would you even say that?
Because... Okay, Daniel, I'm so sorry. Look, there are lots of different types of relationships. There's the relationship, a romantic relationship, a relationship you have with your son, there's a relationship you have with Hannah. But then there are another important relationship is the one you have with your dentist. And I've got a very good dentist. His name is Morgan O'Gara, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, right. His brother was a rugby player. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But listen, Morgan is brilliant, right? Now, the thing is, I used to go to Smiles and all those places. But the problem is, those dentists, there'd be some good dentists in there, but they'd come and go. So you'd build up a good relationship, and then they'd say, I'm sorry, see ya. And then you have another. So, and also, I got OCD about having female dentists, because in my head, they've got tiny little female hands. And they can go inside your mouth and work magic, like, whereas, other dentists have big sausage hands and they can't. But anyway, what I'm saying is this particular dentist, Morgan, is great. But I've been putting it on hold for over a year. I'm just sitting with my shy teeth progressively getting worse and, putting it to one side and not addressing what I need to address. Anyway, I'm going to this place called Blackrock Clinic. And what's great about it is it's like walking onto the deck of a Starship Enterprise. It's very modern. That's what you want in a good dentist surgery, okay? So I'm going to get my fucking teeth fixed. And it's going to take a few months.
I think maybe a year even.
Okay, communism, okay?
No, I'm just preparing
product
you.
of Stalin.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. We listened to the same podcast about dictators,
Yeah.
about Joseph Stalin.
Paul McGann, the real dictators. Stalin started off life in Russia. Okay.
He actually wasn't even Russian. He was Georgian.
Yeah. Okay, so the point
And he
is,
was well
I've been doing a lot of these
educated.
self-tapes, and I'm not getting any of these auditions. And, you know, part of the thing is obviously the acting, but part of the thing is I just look like shit, okay? So I'm getting my teeth fixed. And I just dyed my beard again, and it's itchy as fuck. And I think I want to get a hair line transplant.
I think your beard is a bit too dark.
Yeah, well, your face is a
I
bit
think-
too...
I think you look like a chimney sweeper.
Yeah, you're being very racist. Okay, let's go. Oh, let's go. This is it. Anyway, birthday. So I was born in on the 5th of February, 1971. Okay, so anyway, my PT brought me a lovely little cake, which I was very touched by, I have to say. Did you get me a birthday present?
I
I
sent
don't-
you birthday wishes.
Yeah, and you drove me up to a gig in Carlow in the Visual Theatre, which was an hour away. I paid €70 for diesel, and also you said that if I didn't transfer €250 into your bank account, you wouldn't drive me back. So we were having this argument after the gig outside the Visual Theatre. That's the kind of woman your mother is, Daniel. No, I'm not going. I want 250. And she started calculating. 5 hours I've been here.
Well, actually, it took me 6 hours because I was home.
So I had to pay Hannah,
well, I was doing a
€320.
job,
Yeah.
and you're portraying as I was like
For a chauffeur, that will give you a hard time.
Some people need a bit of harshness because otherwise they just don't know where their place is in life.
A lot of your ideas I'm going to call from now on noggin poppers. So it's just like ideas pop out of your...
show, let's abuse Hannah.
It's just like you have ideas that pop out of your noggin, your head. They pop out of your noggin, and then they don't go anywhere. And then you just pour your ideas into a rubbish bin.
I don't think I like this section, and I demand it to
Noggin.
be cut out.
Hannah's noggin poppers. She just has an idea and it doesn't go anywhere, and you might as well just empty that idea into an old rubbish bin. Oh. Do you feel like Blake Lively now? And I'm Justin Baldoni. Oh yeah, I did a gig last night in a restaurant in Dalkey called Benito's.
Yes.
Do you know what Benito's is named after?
No.
Benito Mussolini.
Mussolini, but
But it's funny that people there's a bit of a warmth, or he was a bit of a comic character, but actually he was quite murderous.
Well, he was following suit of Hitler.
Well, no, he was the original. I think Hitler was inspired by Mussolini. They both were inspired by each other. But it's funny, Mussolini's, but Benito's.
And I've seen Benito Mussolini speaking in the museum, and he's Trump really modeled himself on Mussolini's speaking. The gestures, Mussolini.
Oh
yeah, and the way his lips and the pronunciation and
So I did a gig last night in a restaurant in Dalkey called Benito's with a Slovenian comedian who's just moved over here. Actually, her name is Martina, and I said she should come on the show.
Is she coming?
Yeah, because she's well known in Slovenia.
Okay.
Do you know what the population of Slovenia is?
No, about maybe 5 million.
Apparently it's 2 million.
Oh, it's only 2 million. Okay.
Yeah, so it's even smaller than Ireland. But so we did this gig, and there was a guy. It was a small gig. There was about 50 people there, and it was a long room. So it was just basically you're performing to a front row. But there was a guy to my left who was pissed out of his head, and he was on his 5th date with this woman, and he wouldn't shut up, and he was throwing me off, you know, and I was trying to build up momentum. And at one point, you know, I had the microphone, and I thought, so are you a couple? And she said, no, this is our 5th date. And I said to the lady, do you find him really annoying? And she said, yes. And after the gig, she fucked off and left him in the lurch, left him, you know, on his own. And he's pissed, and he was kind of going to me like, you fucked it up for me. I said, no, you fucked it up yourself because you were talking all the way through the gig and you were killing, you know, the buzz.
For other people, yeah.
But he blamed me for ruining his potential chances of having sex with this woman. But it's funny. It's funny, like he was talking to the other comedians, and then they all left, and he was just standing there outside Benito's with a drink in his hand, and then Al Porter was walking out, and he said to Al, they're making me feel like I'm an asshole, Al. You know, I was just trying to be friendly. And then Al was getting into the taxi, and he says, I heard him say to your man, yeah, just don't give yourself a hard time. You're all right. Don't give yourself, you know. Al was giving him advice. But Neil Jordan was at the gig.
Was he?
Yeah, Neil Jordan was at the gig, and I didn't know he was there.
When did you find out? Afterwards?
Yeah, afterwards, because apparently as he was walking out, he said to Al Porter, oh yeah, that's the first time I've seen you now. And then Al said, oh yeah, thanks very much, right? Mm-hmm. And then Neil Jordan just says to him, bye-bye. And just walks off. See ya, thank you, bye-bye. That's it.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't talk to you?
No, but he didn't say to Al what he thought of Al's performance.
Oh.
He just said, yeah, that's the first time I've seen you now. And I was like, oh yeah, thanks. And then he goes, okay, see you now. Good luck.
Yeah, that's quite weird.
Anyway, you know, I would have thought Neil Jordan would come up to me and say, oh yeah, that was great. Yeah, do you want to hang out now? Then maybe go down to my big house and we can just sit and talk about stuff. Anyway,
because Neil Jordan, he lives in Dalkey.
Yeah.
So
on Sorrento Road, I think.
That's
in a big house.
That's his local.
Yeah. Anyway, good luck to, you know, Neil Jordan.
I was an extra in his film Byzantium.
All right, with Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah, with Saoirse Ronan.
How do you know? How do you remember that?
Because I remember Daniel telling me, and you actually have a nice photo with her, don't you?
Yeah, I have a photo with Saoirse Ronan. She's like standing next to me.
Where is the photo?
I think I have it on.
Will you send it to me so when we can edit it in?
Yeah, sure.
But anyway, I did look up Neil Jordan's IMDb. You know his the list of all the films he's done. He's I mean
very prolific.
Very prolific, a talented dude.
Yes.
You know. But I remember back in the day, I remember going to the movies and watching Company of Wolves, and then he did The Crying Game, which was kind of, when you think about it, way ahead of its time.
Yes.
So you know, I suppose typical Irish fashion, begrudgingly, I have to acknowledge how talented and gifted he is as a writer.
What's his
but I would have just liked a bit of acknowledgement, to be quite honest. I mean, I think it would have been good to know that he was there, and I would have raised my game a little bit in the audience. You know, but it's amazing. You have somebody like Neil Jordan in the audience, and then this fucking douchebag, you know, heckling me all the time.
So, but it shows you that you have to value every gig, because you never, it's like going outside. You always have to dress yourself really nice, because you don't know who you're going to meet. So you have to be always prepared, you know, not going out in your pajamas and your slippers, you know, but just be ready, steady, go.
Yeah.
Because you never know what opportunity.
But I was the jokes we're doing were lowest common denominator type jokes.
Did you go back to your like oldest jokes?
Yeah, I was doing old jokes, and I was just, you know, it's all fanny and you know, Al was the same. So but for fuck's sake, he's a dude, and that's it. But I don't know, you know, it's just the idea of Al saying that I thought it was funny, the
So-
interaction that he had.
So at least he had interaction. Did
What a
you
great,
have
what a
interaction?
great anecdote.
Yeah.
No, I had no interaction. Oh yeah, no. Al said as there was a group of them walking away. That's Neil Jordan, he says. And so Neil Jordan was walking away, but the guy that was heckling me all the way through came up to me after the show. I was only fucking having a laugh with you. I helped you out. I helped you. You know, people who heckle and are pissed, they always think they're helping you out.
Yeah, you should say, do you want some money?
But it was so like just as I was driving away, that heckler, you know, his date fucked off, and he's just he's doing the walk of shame, walking away from Benito's with a glass in his hand. You know what I mean?
Publicly humiliated.
Well, I've done that so many times as an alcoholic. You know, I've fucked up so many situations, and I have been so overbearing. So, you know, I mean, anyway.
Yeah, alcoholics are people who are... But, you know, drunken people, they all think that they are very funny, entertaining.
Yes.
And unfortunately, they repeat themselves all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time.
No, drunk people, number one, they think they're entertaining. Number two, they think they're funny. Number three, they think everybody's happy to see them. Wrong, wrong, wrong.
And also, they think they're very attractive.
Yes.
They forget
Or they think they're very
how
attractive.
they
Yeah.
look.
And everyone that they look at is but it was so funny. I saw his date, and she was just like, you could see her head was in her hands. Anyway, so the trials and tribulations, the ups and downs of the comedian's hero's journey. The first and last time Neil Jordan will ever come to see a fucking show of mine, and why should he? I wouldn't want him to be in it. Fuck off. Go on. He's great.
Well, if you made him laugh...
I don't know if I made him laugh.
But if you made him laugh...
I think I saw somebody. I think he's got grey hair, and when he was going into the gig, I said, "That looks like Neil Jordan." And I thought to myself, "There's no way fucking Neil Jordan would be coming to a gig."
Was that like a restaurant?
Yeah,
situation
restaurant.
People were eating, or
Yeah, Benito's. No, downstairs the restaurant was functional, but upstairs they cleared the room and just put road seating. But the people there are very, very nice. The gig was supposed to be in Queens, but Queens and Dalkey has... Dalkey, if anybody's interested or gives a shit, is a suburb, would you say, of Dublin?
yeah, suburbs.
Yeah, and some of those fucking houses, when you... Like, it's so out of my understanding what it must be like to live in some big motherfucker house with 6 bedrooms and all that, and a beautiful driveway.
Didn't you grow up in a house which has had like on Glenart Avenue? It had like 3 floors. It was like 6 bedrooms.
Yeah,
A big garden.
it wasn't my house though.
I know, but you grew up, so you should be like well accustomed to it, no?
Yeah, I guess so. But I've forgotten. This was so long ago. Which
Oh, sorry, that was the wrong sound effect.
Hannah's been freaking out about our YouTube podcast show because it's getting less views. But I don't...
Because we're not consistent. We don't publish at the same time. We're changing... you change the video while already after publishing, so you republish. Algorithm doesn't like it, and also you're changing the title afterwards, which algorithm doesn't
so
like
I fucked up a few weeks, but also it's just as well this isn't a business, because if our earning capabilities were tied in with the amount of views we had, we'd be in trouble. But thankfully, this isn't a business, and I've never made money out of this YouTube channel, so I don't give a fuck. With respect, no, people can watch or they can't watch. Yeah, well, I do, but the problem is I'm very persistent. I like doing it. I like working with my son, Daniel. I like bonding with our son. I don't like you bother me. No, so it's a good thing we're. Anyway, so people can tune in.
They pretend that you don't care about money, and
well, yeah, I do care about money, but I've never made money on this this forum. I mean, I don't expect to.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, I'm sure it'll be nice, but it'll certainly be a side effect of the YouTube channel, our podcast getting more popular.
Okay, we need to work on the strategy of the podcast.
Hannah's noggin popper.
What?
It comes out of her head and goes straight into a bucket. I mean, you have to write out your ideas. Because you just come in and you just scattergunning these ideas. Okay, so do you want to introduce the new section of the show that we're going to try out?
Well, I think you were doing it.
Okay, so we're going to have just a weekly news update, okay? Oh, shit. So let's set this up now. So will we call it Hannah's weekly news update?
I just think really like you're picking on me.
Good. Good, yeah.
Are we recording this?
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Live from Portobello, international news with Hannah Andrews. She hasn't got a clue, and either do I. So Hannah, what's in the news? Oh yeah, we were talking about this Blake Lively clip where she gets really pissed off with the reporter. The reason is I saw this, actually the film she did recently with a guy called Baldoni.
Justin
Baldoni, and it's called It Ends
With Us.
It Ends With Us. Did you watch it last night?
I did watch it, yeah, and
try and talk into the microphone. You put the mouth hole next and point it to your mouth hole. It's endless, Daniel.
It's endless. I think
it's built into my DNA. Yeah.
I think you just
it's pointed at your neck now.
No, it doesn't.
No, but just point the actual microphone at your mouth.
I mean, the mic is so good that, the millimeter one way or the other, it doesn't matter. And you just taking out the time and you just want to continue the same saga over and over again.
Are we doing this section?
Go on, sorry.
No, it's just
okay,
like
go on.
being depressed.
Go on. So tell it. Oh yeah. So we were watching It Ends With Us, and it's a very good film. And I reckon if I was Blake Lively's husband, and she made this film. What are you doing, Hannah?
Oh, just keep on talking.
What are you doing?
I'm just like.
Well, no, but you have to tell people.
Yeah.
No, you're not telling. You're just pressing buttons.
Yeah, but you're talking. So.
But I'm saying, what are you doing?
So don't get distracted. Go on.
But why can't you just be honest with me? Point your mouth hole into the microphone.
I mean, we have to cut it out.
No, cut what out?
Ridiculous. What's going on?
No, because I'm just saying, what are you doing? And you can't even tell me what you're doing.
Because
you're furious. You're furiously searching something on your phone, and I say, what are you searching for?
I'm not searching. I'm just gonna bring up some, information
about
this, allegation of what's going on between.
Okay, so Justin Baldoni directed this really good film called It Ends With Us. I watched the film. Blake Lively is great in it. He is great in it. But if I was Blake Lively's husband, I would be very freaked out and jealous because of some of the really hot scenes that they have. But the great thing about those scenes is that they're not incidental. They're not just what's the word? There's a word. Where they have no context, or they're not forwarding the story or the plot. They're just gratuitous.
Mm-hmm.
Sex scenes. I don't know. Were they really? Anyway. So it's just interesting that I was surprised how good the film was versus how there's so much animosity between the two of them. Blake Lively accused Justin Baldoni of
inappropriate sexual conduct. So I just wanted, I wanted to find out exactly what was what the accusation was. Because
I think that's pretty much it. That's the big one, right? Which in the era of #MeToo is a massively potentially career-ending accusation. But then he has actually created a website to itemize every single allegation that Blake Lively made towards him and refute it with evidence. So it's very much, which you can understand if the man is innocent and he hasn't overstepped the mark or done anything wrong. So he's fighting for his reputation and his life. But my point is, I haven't seen any interviews with Justin Baldoni, but I've seen on the internet a lot of people are saying that Blake Lively is a bit of a prima donna. Is that the right word, or a diva, or she's quite? She just gets angry or pissed off or frustrated really quickly.
She's like short-tempered.
Yeah, well, but also there's a big element of who gives a fuck. I mean, I'm not looking to fucking actors for moral guidance. She's an actor. So what if she gets pissed off? But here's a good clip of what we're talking about. This reporter says to her, we'll just play it there, Hannah.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got 2 nice ones.
Yeah, go
So
on.
did you see the interviewer say congrats on your bump? So she knows that that Blake Lively is pregnant.
Yes.
Because she's been open about it.
She's talked about it, yeah.
Yeah, so everybody knows it. But she doesn't like it. She doesn't like that she's being pointed out that she's pregnant. So she wants to conduct the interview without even mentioning it. Probably.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. My read of that is she's on a press junket and she's probably doing lots of interviews. Maybe. And this particular interviewer, she said, I see you've got a bump. And maybe Blake Lively, because she is an actor, is very focused on how her body looks and the shape of her body, and so important, tips the balance in favour of the film doing well, aesthetic. And she doesn't want attention being drawn to the fact that she has a bump or something. But you can see when the reporter said, I can see a little bump, if you pause at Blake Lively's reaction. We're getting very forensic here, folks. Mm-hmm. Just go to the beginning. Yeah.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
So she's really and thank you for your bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
So she's saying, well, you've got fucking bumps on your body too. I'm not the only one with bumps. So she doesn't like the fact that she's drawing attention to the fact that...
probably she doesn't like that she started interview with that news.
But then this one...
What about my bump?
She's trying to diffuse the awkwardness created instantly by Blake Lively. By, look at my bump. So which is way more, if the interviewer said, you got a nice ass bump. But anyway...
Yeah, luckily it's all among the women. You can't bring, misogynist remark here. If it was a man, maybe it would be even...
But anyway, during the interview, Blake Lively couldn't bring herself to even look at the journalist. She was so pissed off, and they were just basically interviewing each other.
Corey's wardrobe was gorgeous. Those high-waisted pants.
He's so great.
I would wish men wore high-waisted pants like that.
And they're just ignoring her. Anyway, they're 2 fucking idiots. But they're successful fucking idiots, and they're good actors. But so what? But anyway, that's... sorry, yeah, go on. Did you want to say something?
No,
Do you want to say anything, Daniel, about this? We're trying this out, folks, for the first time.
I'm not sure what... Yeah, I mean, you've said what's needed to be said, I think. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I just saw that the judge set up the court for March 2026.
Mm-hmm.
So until then, they've been instructed not to, bring it too much to the public attention, not to speak too much, not to, favor, the final verdict, I guess. And there's pages and pages of evidence
from Justin Baldoni
and from her as well, because they countersuing each other. Yeah. So
But you'd wonder what you see. The thing is, truth is stranger than fiction. I mean, people have lots of underlying kind of things that they are in complete denial of, they would never admit. So they sort of, rather than acknowledge what's actually going on, there's accusations or distractions being made. And I just wonder, and also Blake Lively's husband, what's his name?
Ryan Reynolds.
He was brought into the whole thing. So I just wonder what is, obviously...
I wonder what Ryan Reynolds' reaction is, because he's kind of quite a funny guy.
But he doesn't make his money from acting. He's got a business, like a marketing or advertising business, and that's how he makes most of his money. He's acting just occasionally. This is almost like his hobby. So
yeah, that's what it says on his LinkedIn, I think.
What's that?
What Hannah just said.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
So there's thing about the control over movie, and Blake Lively, she wanted to take over control of the final edit, and also I think she didn't want that many sex scenes, and she said there wouldn't be any oral sex, any well,
you see, that's where I think that's where I think maybe the relationship between Blake Lively and her husband influenced possibly that decision, because I would imagine she's probably chilled out and relaxed and enjoying it and catching a vibe, vice versa, from your man Justin Baldoni. And I wonder how that affects the relationship on both sides.
She was saying that there was that Justin Baldoni kissed her unexpectedly on the neck, and the intimacy coach wasn't present. They have intimacy coach.
Intimacy.
Intimacy.
Yeah.
Coach.
So, right, okay.
So
see, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
That they visited her in her trailer where she was breastfeeding.
Well, all this kind of stuff. Yeah. But look, in the cut and thrust of making a film, but that's the weird thing. They've made a really good film. Which is, I'd sort of maybe understand this stuff if they'd made a shit film, but they've kind of made a really great film.
I don't think it's great.
Great film.
It's
okay,
good.
Okay,
it's good.
Yeah. But it's much better than maybe my expectations were so low, but I thought it was a very good film. I mean, it makes a very good point. It's well constructed.
Yeah, it's and
I mean, I wasn't looking at it with a very critical eye, okay, but there was some soapy moments. Is that right?
A lot of soapy moments. But it's beautifully shot, and the design, the shop designs.
And he's a very good fucking director. Obviously, he's a smart dude.
He's very handsome. She's very handsome.
Yeah.
There's
Oh yeah, there was some scenes where he's taking off his shirt. Fucking hell, that guy is cut. He works out, mama. That guy works out, eats perfectly well. So if I'm a guy, my girlfriend is going to work with this dude, and there's those kind of things. I'm just saying, there's lots of layers of stuff that people are in denial about.
And there's Justin Baldoni wife, Emily Baldoni, in the movie as well. She's got a really small part where she's scanning.
Okay, so
she's scanning,
a baby. She's scanning the baby.
Yeah, that's Emily Baldoni's.
Right.
Emily
yeah.
Baldoni.
She's given
Baldoni's wife.
She's given the sonogram, the pregnant woman a sonogram.
It's not called sonogram.
Sonogram, isn't it?
Ultrasound.
Ultrasound. Okay. How is that, Daniel?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. I mean, I think keep going.
Okay, Daniel's the producer. He's very positive. He isn't critical. So what else? Do we want to talk more about that? Let's move on then, Hannah. What's the next clip we're going to have a look at?
Japan is the third richest country in the whole world, and they didn't get fat, right? So
this guy is talking about Japan being the third richest country in the world, and they're not, compared to the Americans, they're not fat.
Oh yeah, he's the Ozempic guy. He actually, I've seen it.
It's 4% of Japanese people, and it's set to fall, right? There's no market for Ozempic in this country. They're really not fat. And at first you think, well, it must be some genetic thing. They must have just won the genetic lottery. But we know that's not the case.
Yeah.
So the Japanese government very consciously transformed the Japanese diet.
Yeah.
They transformed the diet, and they did all sorts of things that are now continued and in fact stepped up. So I wanted to see what they are. So I went to this school in Tokyo called Koenji School. Kids go there from when they're 6 to when they're 18. It's a strange thing to see, right? And we were greeted at the door, me and my translator Chie, by a woman called Harumi Tatibe, who's the nutritionist who works for the school.
Anyway, so basically, apparently in Japan, it's mandated that there has to be a nutritionist in children's schools, and all the foods prepared for them must be organic and not processed. We don't have. When Jack and Daniel went to, there wasn't. They were just. We gave them packed lunches.
Yeah. I think in the West it depends on the school, but like. As far as I know, school in the West don't provide. I mean, like in Ireland.
Yeah.
Neither in Poland, they don't provide lunches or food.
Yeah.
You finish quite early. Like you don't finish at 6 in the evening. You finish at 2 or 3, depending.
But actually, when we talk about education, that's a really vital part to send people out into the real world with skills and knowledge and the understanding of what you eat and how it affects your body.
Definitely.
Like
Jamie Oliver
in
England.
Okay, but just so
in Japan, by law, every school has to employ a professional nutritionist.
Oh, God. Wow.
It's a serious qualification. It's 3 years on top of your teaching degree. And as the nutritionist, your job is to design the school meals, which have to, by law, be made entirely of fresh foods that are prepared on the day. You're not even allowed pre-processed paste in the schools in Japan. And then you've got to use those fresh, unprocessed meals, which contain all the main food groups, to educate the children about how to eat well, eat healthily.
But okay, so we can get out of that now. But my point is, when I think of school, there's an element of its punishment. It's just something you have to endure. Some people thrive in the school environment, but how much would that cost, or how difficult would it be to implement, whereby you had a kitchen and you provided food for kids, I mean, it doesn't have to be a big meal, but it could be. Sorry, go on.
Listen, if you take, I don't want to go back. If you take it, all that money was spent during COVID.
Right, there you go.
You get, and vaccinate people. You could put that into educating people, getting nutritionists, getting the best food. But traditionally, the West has a different diet than Japan. We were in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see bars of chocolate in the shop. What they have...
Hence my fucking teeth are falling out of my head. Rows and rows of confectionery in every Spar and Central
There's
shop.
Also, what happened to your teeth? It's not... It's correlated to diet, but it's not only. It's also hygiene,
Dental hygiene.
We could implement it. But
well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking do a trial run, but it's way beyond our competence. I think here,
in Ireland.
I think so.
Well,
I mean,
we
the
don't
idea.
have children's hospital yet.
I just think we talk about education. What is an education? Sending out, I guess in the perfect version of it would be sending kids out, with on a platform where they can face the world and they have some skills, and one of them would be the appreciation of food and the appreciation of food and what good food and how it makes you feel, and an appreciation of food, for God's sake.
But on the other hand, shouldn't it start in the family?
Start in the family, well.
The way kids are being.
But also, isn't it a nice
fed.
thing to know that I'm sending my kids to school, and I know that at lunchtime they're going to get a really good meal that's made on the day, and that's not processed. And isn't that part of the atmosphere that we want kids to be subjected to?
Definitely. I would love that.
Okay. Right.
But like schools don't have special need teachers.
But I think there's an element with school is that you just put them in a book and just throw them into the school and just let whoever's in there look after them and they can fare for themselves and they, But did they ever? I mean, St. Conleth's was good though, wasn't it, Daniel?
Yeah, it was good. The canteen area was like there was a canteen, but they made like sandwiches or they had pizza slices or chips.
Yeah,
that was kind of the food that. And it wasn't free either. You had to pay for it as well.
It's not freshly prepared.
No,
either.
Definitely not.
But isn't it terrible when you think about these beautiful little dotes, these future of the country, and all we can come up with is slice of Brennan's bread, today's bread, slice of pizza, and a couple of chips, and these little angels coming up, and you're just emptying that into them.
I mean, those pizzas were good though.
Were they, son?
I don't know. It's just whatever taste they have.
You're young and you can eat anything.
Yeah.
Brennan's bread is not even like proper bread. It's the most processed bread you could ever imagine.
But yeah, like, well, of course I'm not doing anything about it. But then with Jamie Oliver? How far did he get in?
I think they have a different system in England. So. He really went to schools and tried to change what they give into kids and educate. I think he had some success, but a lot of things.
But especially, can you imagine kids in disadvantaged areas? How beautiful it would be. Maybe their parents are struggling financially, and just the idea that they're mandated, lovely, well balanced meal that the little children would have. I just think it's beautiful. I mean, don't we have rivers of cash flowing into the coffers of the government? I mean, personally, I'm paying thousands and thousands of euro in VAT every 2 months, right? 2 months?
Yeah.
Every 2 months. And that's just from me. And I'm not a big earner. But so they have thousands and billions, I guess.
They build in their own houses.
But no,
sure.
Well, Hannah, priorities. If the government said, look, we can't fix this anymore, just stick on one fucking thing. Just have they have politicians who are just one issue politicians. There used to be a guy called Sean Dublin Bay Loftus, and he was OCD on Dublin Bay and cleaning it up or something. So if you had a one issue, David. Good food for kids, McSavage.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And you ran on that platform. But anyway, the thing is, we're still
don't have facilities to cook.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
But that's it. But that's what we're talking about. We're talking about a nationwide movement whereby we put kitchens, because I think that's more important than teaching them fucking Irish or geography or whatever the fuck. And if you're going to teach Irish, figure out a way to present it in a delicious way where it's this is a great language, because that's how bad they were at teaching Irish, that they made
in your time. But I think they're getting better now.
But also I have to say I went to Blackrock College, and I can be quite critical of Blackrock College, but I did have there was lots of really fun times, and there were some great people in there. And I guess in some ways I would like to. I wish like past pupils of Blackrock College had the ability to go in there and talk to present day students and share some wisdom with these teenagers. Why have you got that expression on your face?
Like what?
I don't know, just because like this.
I'm listening intently to
anyway,
you. And you're expressing that desire,
Okay, well, we don't need to wing clip. You're always accusing people of wing clippers. You should start your own website. Wing clippers.
How to clip the wings.
Wing clipper nogger poppins. Nogger. No.
David, this is such a cheap shot. Below the belt.
Below the belt?
Yeah. In my case, it's just Blake Lively.
Okay, how long have we been broadcasting?
Too long.
Nearly an hour.
Okay.
That's enough.
Yeah, but I think the education system in Ireland needs to be sort of rebooted, because, like, I don't know, it's not really it's more directed to like how much information can you attain, and then write it out on the tests that they're given, as opposed to like being directed towards some kind of skill or something. It's more just a general knowledge of like, I mean, which is great, I suppose, because like it gives you
and
a
some
general
people
knowledge of things, but it's not specialized.
Yeah.
Like kind of like in England, I guess, with their GCSEs or how they operate. But
or just the ability to communicate ideas is what a teacher has to do, and a lot of them weren't good at it. But even just just like helping us set up a business or understanding what that means and what you have to set up, how much money,
financial education,
financial
really
education,
important.
saving, and although maybe honestly, Hannah, maybe that was being thought in Blackrock College, but it went in one fucking ear and out the other. I can't remember anything.
I don't think that there is financial education anywhere, like practical financial, how to save money, how to invest money.
But even
how to
like Daniel
build
says, even
wealth.
teaching you a physical skill, like well, they did, the woodworking and metalwork and all that kind of stuff. But
I'm not sure there was extracurricular activities, but it's just the way it's presented. It's just like, here it is.
Oh right,
it's just like, I don't know.
You didn't connect it to an experience that would. That you could that sort of.
I heard that whatever school system we have, it's maybe all over the world. It's in line with Industrial Revolution. Now we have a new time that it's AI revolution. So the whole schooling system should be changed towards that new trend. Like AI. Like. You don't need to learn anything. You just ask ChatGPT about a lot of stuff. You get instant answer. So there's a different need for a different stuff.
Well, I have to say,
like it used to be.
Some things don't need to change because they're perfect the way they are. Like a cup of tea, I don't want that updated. Tea, nice. Fireplace, nice. There's certain things, reading and writing at least. Because the responsibility of learning is in your head, whereas with AI, the responsibility is in the AI. So you're just a passive, onlooker at stuff being done for you that you're not doing it. It's like the difference between a push bike and an e-bike. AI is an e-bike. Reading is a push bike. There's effort required, and it's good for your brain, which is a muscle. And that's why I've got my short-term memory is fucked because I don't read.
But maybe if
I do
you're
read.
Clever, you use AI for your own advancement.
Yeah, but nobody
and
uses.
you read. Like, what would you
I know what you're. I know what you're saying.
Nobody.
I know what you're
There's
saying.
so
But people.
many
Yeah, but I know what
millionaires.
you're saying. But people don't. They just use it exclusively, like ChatGPT. They don't figure out. Write it out themselves. They just farm out their thinking. They sort of they use someone else's brain to think. It's like with a sponsor in Alcoholics Anonymous, my brain just doesn't work properly, hence the fact that I'm going to drink too much and just make stupid decisions. So knowing that self-awareness, I just hand over that responsibility of my thoughts and decision making to somebody who's wiser and smarter than me, who I acknowledge is smarter than me, and you give them, listen, I'm thinking of doing this thing, and then they would say, well, maybe not such a great idea, David. What I would suggest, because you can't tell alcoholics doing the suggest is you clean your underpants, have a fucking shower, and eat some vegetables. But AI is like our sponsor now. It's thinking on our behalf, and that's.
But you still have to ask the question. You still have to write the prompt. Very soon, maybe you don't need to. And AI, it would be good, that clip I was showing you, that AI tells the student that he's useless and taking space on the planet Earth and tells him die.
Well, AI
die.
will. I mean, eventually we're going to be able to upload our consciousness. Isn't that the whole thing?
Well, there's like AI chips being developed, like put in your head, and you can like be connected to the internet all the time or whatever. Like, you know, it's I don't
But
know.
you can
Yeah,
just
yeah,
swallow
yeah.
it.
Go on, Daniel. Yeah.
Well, no, it's just crazy ideas. Like it's just taking,
that's where-
taking the humanity out of everything.
But that's what our neighbour there across the road is on this virtual reality thing. So it's already happening. Like so that
What neighbour?
he our neighbour Matt.
Yeah.
So you have an avatar. So you're in this virtual reality, and you're living online.
yeah, yeah.
Right. But surely.
Does he come out from the house?
Yeah, there's this app like.
But the direction of travel in terms of our evolution, that's where we are going presently.
Yeah, probably
so,
like the Matrix or some shit.
Well, yeah, but so you just forward it, say it's going to continue in that way, 200, 300, 3,000 years from now.
Yeah.
3,000 years.
Maybe not even 30 times.
Okay.
30 years.
Okay, but there will be a 3,000 years from now. You see, we're so tiny in our. I am so tiny in my thinking. You know.
I always think that
lifespan.
like that we might end up like remember the movie WALL-E.
Yes.
And
yes.
and the way
that's
that
great.
people
Yeah.
end
Alright.
up in those chairs where they're just constantly on a screen,
Yeah.
and they just don't have to do anything. And
But it's already happened. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
that's the thing. It's already. It's kind
Yeah.
of. It's happened. Yeah, it should be a no screen day or something. No screen day would be good, wouldn't it? A read a book day. But so I would say 3,000 years from now, we'll somehow our consciousnesses, whatever this is, we'll be able to just.
in the cloud.
We'll just be able to exist like that for eternity, because that's what we have revealed. I've talked about this before in the Bible. That's what has been promised to humanity. So it's baked into our DNA that when you die, you will live for eternity in God's grace and God's vision. You will be in heaven, talking to people and having a great old time in Middle Earth for eternity. So that's where 3,000 years eternity.
Or imagine imagine if you died and you had to live your life again.
well, I would imagine.
But
So
you wouldn't remember it, or you would.
What if you did remember?
no,
it?
I'd imagine what will happen is that you can just choose to be a farmer in Italy for 20.
I don't think that you can choose.
No, but you can in the online consciousness.
Oh, like a
you can just
virtual reality.
virtually just be this. You can choose what time. But obviously, time travel will never be invented, because if it had been, we'd have people coming back and saying hello. But maybe that's what aliens
I think
are.
it's like theoretically impossible or something.
Yeah.
Time travel. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, I hear. What's your man's name? He talks like that. Brian Cox.
Yeah.
If you go faster than the speed of light, and then you come back, and it would only be a year for you, but it would be like 2,000 years for Earth.
And your experience over that time? Wow.
What's that sound? Who's making that noise? Listen.
Don't know.
Is it maybe? I don't know.
Okay, another not very smart podcast comes to a crashing end. We're not smart. We never said we were, but we're going to get a guest next week. Happy birthday to
our
me.
IQ is around 100.
And also, I would like people, if they, enjoy this torture, they subscribe, comment, because it's nice. We're gonna build a community of people who are not smart. So
no, Neil Jordan is not welcome on this podcast.
Or maybe he has an hour of not being smart,
Yeah, right. You can
being
take a break.
smart,
Take a
all
break. Hey, Neil Jordan, take a break from being brilliant for a while.
Yeah,
come
just-
down to the rest of us who
Yeah.
actually pay tickets to come and see your stuff.
Exactly.
Just humanize yourself a little bit. Come out
Yes.
of your ivory tower there. Oh no, he did come out of his. He came to the gig.
Yeah,
Shit.
he lowered
Okay.
himself. And
Thanks very much.
presumably he paid.
Thanks very much, Neil Jordan. And of course, Neil Jordan is related to the great basketball player Michael Jordan.
Okay. This is not true.
Just do it, Hannah. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Prince Daniel. Thank you, Queen Hannah of Denial.